Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to finally get to my JVC DD-7 cassette deck. Been a while, but I'm finally getting to it. I was supposed to get to this around end of January, at least that was the original plan, but things happened and here we are today, so let's not dwell on that too long. Now before I get started on this, I have done some stuff off camera to this just to prepare for today, so it'd be a little bit less work for me. It's a good thing too, because I've only got about a week to do this, if I can possibly do it in time for next Saturday. I may not be able to do it, so you might have to be waiting 2 weeks for this one. But that's okay. I've been kind of stressed out this week, so it would be good to just not get so stressed out. So if this takes 2 weeks, that's fine. Anyhow, the main idea for today is to test whether or not this VCR felt kit is going to do the job for replacing the slip clutch felt in the take-up spool in these JVC decks. I need to know this before I get back into the TDV 931 to finally finish fixing that deck up. So that's the idea for today, is we'll just work our way through this deck and see how good these felts are. I've already used one of them. I decided to practice on my Optonica, which model is it? It's that really old one with the severe wow and flutter problems I can never fix. Anyhow, that one had a felt slip clutch in the take-up reel itself, but in that one it was completely disintegrated, so I decided to go in there and see how well these worked for that. And as it turns out, these are all peel and stick. Real easy to apply these, so I'll tell you that I have another one of these coming in now, just as insurance in case I need more of them than what's in this one. So I've got another one coming, and also from the same seller, I found that he has the actual dual op-amp package for the Akai GXR88's bias oscillator. So I've got two of those coming as well in case that deck needs it. Those two, or whatever, one of those. We'll see. I'm probably not making much sense because I've still got a cold or something, and this does not feel like a good day for me to be working on a cassette deck, but I'm going to get started anyway because there's a lot to do. But before we get into this, I just wanted to mention I've decided to move along the home theater upgrade project a little bit, and I now have both amps. You can see them right down there. We've got the C20 I bought before last year for entirely too much money. And then right next to it, that one there, that's a C10. I don't need 2,000 watts for my surround channels, so I figured I'll just go for the next one down, and hopefully I'll get one in good shape this time. Well, as it turns out, buying the cheapest one of those possible comes with consequences, and that one is in no better shape than the C20 is. Yes, the C10 and C20 have one thing in common. They've got one bad channel each. But in terms of the C10, it's a little bit less severe. There are no fault indicators on the front panel whatsoever on the C10. Instead, what happens with that one is it's got real distorted audio on the B channel. So I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to find that issue. I know what the problem is on the C20. It's got a blown up power gain stage. I don't know if that's the case with the C10. It may be, it may not be. What I do know is I need 15 of the 16 channels working, and I've only got 14 working. So all I've got to do is fix one or the other, and I've got all the channels I need for the entire project. For now, we have to get started with this guy. And what we're going to do first is we're going to take a pre-service torque measurement just to see what this deck is running at. Now, in order to facilitate this, I had to go in and I had to fish a new counterbelt in because this will not stay running otherwise. And that was an ordeal. You can do it, but it takes hours and hours and hours. So I would suggest just tear the whole transport down to do the counterbelt because it's just easier that way. I had to go in with a paper clip, a folded up or bent paper clip, and several dental picks, and I finally managed to do it that way. The problem is you've got to sneak the belt around the brakes on the bottom, and that's really hard to do from here. It can be done, but again, really, really hard. So now another thing I did was, this has been 85% recap now. I didn't want the that whole job hanging in front of me when I finally got to this deck. So I went ahead and did the recap. The motor board has not been recapped yet. That's what I'm doing today, mostly. Aside from this little segment I'm filming right now. But another thing I did was I looked into this cassette door and I tried to make it work better. It's working as well as it can. That little noise you hear, that is apparently by design in this deck, so there's no getting away from that. So we're going to put the torque tape in right now. And yes, the motor is running, the Capstan motor. And we're just going to get a preliminary torque measurement from the take-up side to see what this is running at. Just to see if we improve anything by swapping in a new felt. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, that is really low. It's running at 10 to 15 grams per centimeter. So I'll tell you right now, a large part of that is going to be the idler because it's probably no good in this one. But I don't know how much of that would be the slip clutch or whatever. So we're just going to have to get in there and find out. And to do that, we need to get the transport out of this. So we got to figure that out first. All right, first things first, we got to get the lid off this. Consider it off. And you can see all the capacitors I have replaced in here now. There are 0 audio grade caps in here. I decided not to do that with this deck because the DD-99 is already much better of a cassette deck than this one. So this one's pretty much only here to make test tapes for me, and that's about it. But I'm not even sure I need it for that anymore because the DD-99 is just so good at that. The DD-99 is the lowest wow and flutter deck in the entire collection by far. It's not even close. Number 2 is the RSM 275XC. That one runs at 0.028%, I think. Whereas the double D99, I think, is below 0.02. But this one should be very close to that number as well, because it's basically the same transport. There are a few things that are different in this version of the transport, but by and large, it is the same transport. So what do I got to do to get this transport out on this one? Because it was really hard with the double D99, actually. Let's see, I wonder if the face has to come off of this one. I'm not sure. What does have to come off is this connector down here, for sure. And this one, of course. And let's see. Gotta do this one. And this one. And this one. Do I have to mark any of these? Okay, that one's already marked 1. The next one is not marked. So yes, maybe somebody was inside this deck before. Anyhow, I'm just showing the camera so I can get this back together if I need to. The counter comes out with the transport, it looks like, so that's good. Okay, all those connectors have been done. Now we have to figure out the heads. Not sure which one I'm unplugging now. It's playback or record or erase. It's probably playback or record. It wouldn't be erase, because erase would be... Well, no, this would be the playback back here. So that was probably the record head. I disconnected just then. Okay, this cable is loose. Oh no, maybe that's the erase head, because this is the record head over here. Yes. Record head has red and white, and playback has orange and yellow. And I know this is the playback side of it here because of when I did the recapping. Oh, that's the other thing I need to remember is some of these capacitors down by the Super ANRS chips, some of those need to be low leakage but aren't. I didn't have the right parts at the time, but I do now, so I got to remember to do that. So, what do we have? Is everything disconnected? Oh, we've got a ground wire here. I don't know if that needs to come off now or not. I'm going to leave it alone if I can possibly get away with it. This may need to be disconnected as well. This is the actual quartz lock board. You can see the quartz crystal right there. So I'll disconnect that. Let's see, should I mark this one? I think I'll mark this one, just to make sure I can get everything back in place. I don't think I'll get this confused with any other one because of how it is, but I'll just be safe and mark it with the green marker here. Okay, what else do I need to do? I think I need to disconnect the linkage to the door, which requires removing an E-clip. I've already done this once before, back when I was servicing the door mechanism, or the door damper, or whatever. This is really not a good day for me to be working on this. But at least I've got Doctor Who night to look forward to. I started Doctor Who as a marathon a little over 3 years ago, starting with the William Hartnell Doctor, and I've been doing one adventure a week ever since. I'm into the Matt Smith years now. And once I got into New Who, I supplemented Doctor Who with Star Trek The Next Generation directly afterwards. So I've come to really look forward to Saturday nights. Okay, that's loose now, finally. So we got some screws to take out, just like the EE99. All conveniently color-coded for us. And there's another wire I need to disconnect, I think. This one right here. Oh, good grief. JVC, what the hell? You had to do these single wire connectors again. Okay, note for future self. White one goes to this area here. Gray one goes up here. See if I can get that on camera for my own benefit here. It's just this one right here. Directly left of the yellow wire. Should be ready to come up now, I think. Let me free up this one connector from down below, the one I marked in green, for the quartz lock board. Okay, what is holding it now? There's wires underneath, because of course there are. JVC can't let me have one without having me take the whole bottom cover off. Okay, so here's the bottom cover off. and you can see why I couldn't get the transport out from where it was. Basically, I got to free up a bunch of wires under here. Of course I do. That's JVC for you. I don't know what sort of tape this is, but it's no good. It's been a while since it was any good. So I just got to free up the head wires here, and it should be ready to go. That's the other thing I got to do, is I got to pull all these switches out for the tape type selectors and the whatnot, and clean those like I did in the DD-99. That's going to take forever, but it has to be done. So anyhow, at least we're ready to pull the transport now, I think. I'm just going to hold on to it. I'll try and work it out this way. If it will let me. JVC transports are tough to get out on this series of decks. Okay, all the screws are out from the bottom of the front panel, so should be able to just do what I did for the DD-99 and just take the front panel screws off, and it should get it. Okay, come on, let go of these controls. Not like that. Got another one I gotta glue back together, apparently. Or maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it won't be fine. Yeah, I'll glue that back together when it comes time to do that. Okay, there we go. That should be enough. Should be, but it isn't. The head wires are trapped. They run underneath that one bracket on the underside. So how am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to hold the transport in place, and we'll go up like this. So you can see what the problem is. See, this runs on the other side of this metal bracket here, and you got to kind of work everything past this, and it's just not fun. Okay, that's loose now. We're freed up now. So this should be coming out now. Why isn't it not? Got more wires to deal with. These two have to be desoldered. Apparently. These two right here have to be desoldered in order to get this out. Okay, so remember this. Orange and then yellow. Okay, that should have gotten it loose. Got some other wires hanging me up. Right here we've got tape holding the wires. That has now been released, and hopefully I can get this transport out now. What a hassle. Yes, transport is loose. Okay, apparently the power switch interlock has not been moved too far out of its position. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to remount the face so I can get this deck off the table so I can have room to work. Now it is just about time for me to start working on this board back here, and also the Capstan motor board, maybe. I don't know if you can see that orange capacitor from here that needs to be changed, but I can see it. It's down there. So the service procedure for this area of the transport is going to be the same as the DD-99. But I'm not exactly sure if the door removal procedure is going to be the same, because it is a different type of door mechanism, it looks like. So I'm going to have to take pictures of the door linkage just to figure this out, I think. Okay, let me set this up for a service here. This board just does not look very good. It looks like we've got a lot of that awful brown circuit glue to deal with under here, so I'm going to have to go through this very carefully and work it over and see what I can do for it. But yes, I will go off camera here in a minute and do all my recapping and stuff I need to do in here. I don't know if we'll get to the motorboard today or not. That had a bunch of nasty brown circuit glue on it. But yes, I guess I best go off camera and get started. Okay, I think I got all the recapping done on the control board here, and I just wanted to give you an update. There is a couple of capacitors here, or there are a couple of capacitors here that will give you problems, and they're way back down in there. Let me get my flashlight here. You see the nasty brown circuit glue that's on top of that one chip there? Well, the old capacitor that used to be glued to it is now gone. And I've looked to see if there's any problems there as far as the circuit glue getting on the IC pins, and it looks like it's safe from that. But that one capacitor there, that black one that's on top now, that one will give you a hissy fit, because it solders down to one pin is up on top of the chip, and then the other one is way down there by the connectors. So that's going to be a problem. And then there's this 0.47 beneath it that's really going to make you curse. So just go very slowly and you'll get it done, I'm sure. Anyhow, that's it for that. So it is time for me to access the Capstan motor so I can get that part of the recap done. So should be fairly close to being the same as the DD-99 here, but there's a couple of wires that run down to the counter board that might trip us up a little bit there. So I don't know how easy or hard this is going to be in comparison, but it should be fairly similar, I think. I believe this whole plate will just fold up out of the way. Not sure, but I think that's the way it goes. This is just attached with double-sided tape down here. I'm going to remove it for now, just so I can get things to flip up and out of the way a little easier. I don't know if this plate wants to come out or not, but I guess we'll see. It's just the Capstan motor under there, so I'll get the screws out now and we'll find out together how big of a problem this is going to be. Okay, so this screw has to come out. And this one here with the ground wire on it. Thankfully, none of these are broken like the DD-99's was. At least I don't think any of them are broken. I'll find out the hard way soon. If they are broken, I'm sure. I will remount this board if I can, just to keep things sort of out of my way. Oh yes, and I should mention there was a lot of nasty brown circuit glue up here too. There was some under here, under here, under here, and under both of these wires. It's all been cleaned up now. I left the circuit glue on this resistor that's in here, but I just added some heat shrink just to be sure it's not a problem anymore. And then this resistor is kind of backwards from the way it was, because there was circuit glue shorting out 2 of these transistor pins right there. So good to get that out of the way. And I'm feeling kind of dizzy from whatever this cold is that I have, so I'm gonna have to quit soon. So should be loose now. Not exactly sure what's going on this other side here. Ah, yes, now I'm sure. It does just swivel up and out of the way, but you got to watch these solenoid tabs here as well, because they're going to come loose with the with this plate. I might have to actually dismount some of these wires here for the, well, maybe not. For the counter, I was just going to say. But no, it's coming up. There's a big foam, or a big rubber block here for spacing. I'm going to try not to disturb that too much, but I do have to get this capstan motor desoldered and removed. Fortunately, it looks like I've got enough clearance now to do it. So it's going to be just 2 wires again to this capstan motor, I'm sure. And it should do exactly the same thing that that the DD-99 did, and just lift right out of there. So heat up the iron again. I didn't notice the soldering iron trying to run away this time, but it kind of acted like it was going to start, so that problem may not be fixed. So I might have to get in touch with AEIOU to have something done about that, because this should be under warranty, this station. Just taking out the screws for the capstan motor now. And it looks like we've got more brown circuit glue here, right underneath this capacitor. And yes. And I'll show you where the wires go for the capstan motor. One's right here. You can't see that, can you? But now you can, I think. There's black wire goes down here by the variable resistor, and then the other one comes up over here by R13, it looks like. So let me desolder those. So let me get my solder pult here, and we'll desolder those. I'm not heating up the gun for just 2 joints. And I love that you can just service this capstan motor without messing too much with it inside the deck. I'll just kind of fold this back into place so it's all out of my way. Organize my screws a little bit here so I don't lose track of them. And now I can service yonder capstan motor. And there it is right there in all its glory, the one bad capacitor that you have to replace at all costs on one of these. That orange garbage polypropylene cap. Let me get my replacement for that so I can show you what's going in there. There it is right there. That's the new one. 0.22 microfarad. So hopefully it fits. It's kind of a big blocky capacitor, but it looks like it'll work. I ordered this one off eBay because I really wanted something that had the longer legs on it, and I don't know if you can get that kind of thing from DigiKey anymore. So let me get started with this, and I'll pick back up once we're ready to do this part of it. Okay, folks, the recap is done, and wasn't too many capacitors I had to change, but there were a few. I did find one bad one. This old Panasonic SU has gone physically leaky. It's been puking its guts out. Measures fine yet, but it's faulty, so glad to have gotten it gone. So this motor should be good to go now. At least I would hope so. I checked the orange capacitor. It's good. It would have to be good because we had the Capstan motor running earlier. But it's good to have it gone because it will fail sooner or later, and probably sooner. But I guess we can go ahead and service the Capstan motor now before I go off camera and decide to take the rest of the weekend off, which is probably going to happen. But this should go exactly like the DD-99's service job did. Shouldn't be too difficult at all. I think we might actually have an oil control washer on this one, and yep, we do. So we'll have to pull that off. Can't remember if there was one of those on the DD-99 or not, but there probably was. And off it comes. I will just set it right there. Okay, is this capstan too dirty to pull through yet? I think I should clean it first. One Kim wipe, and my acetone is right in front of my face, so why am I looking for it? And there was crud on there, as you can see. Okay, this should be ready to come off now. I think. Yes. Like so. That is one beefy flywheel. It's got some crud on it, but that's what we're here for, is to clean the crud. And there's a lot of crud to clean, so I'm going to set this back down on there. The motor coils are actually under the board on these things, in case you're wondering. So I need my tips of Q. Speaking of Q, 2 Saturdays ago was the episode Cupid on Star Trek The Next Generation in my little marathon. Absolutely one of my favorite episodes of all time. Not because of the themes it presents, but because it's just so darn fun. Sir, I must protest. I am not a married man. Lots of old grease back in here. I may need to do another pass on that. Trying to set this down at a position where I don't get anything more on top of the magnet back here that'll stick to it, because I don't like things that stick to magnets when it comes to these. You want to have them clean as possible. And obviously nothing on the circuit board that can interfere, like wires. Okay, I'll just grab my Kim wipe again that I was just using, and we'll clean the capstan again with acetone. Squeaky clean, that's the way we want it. And I don't really have to do this because there's no belt to go on top of this flywheel, but I'll give it a once over anyway around the outside, because you don't want anything throwing off the balance too much either. Okay, so capstan's going to need some oil now. I have pretty well stopped cleaning out these bushings, or trying to. I don't think it's really necessary, but I'm going in with the compressor oil on this one. We'll see what it's like compared to the Androl on the other double D deck from JVC. I got some oil falling out now. I'm going to have to clean that up. Anyhow, that should be ready to go back on now. Should be. Except for the fact we need some molly coat in there. Right back under here. That should do the job. Sorry to reach across ya. Couldn't be avoided. Okay, I'll check my oil saturation here. There's plenty of it. Just checking the flywheel to make sure there's no metal shavings on it, and there we go. Should be in beautiful shape now. Okay, we gotta screw things back together, and then we can reinstall the capstan motor and prepare for front side transport service. This thing's, I'm nervous, guys. This thing's going way too well. I know I've done this transport before, but it makes me nervous when things go this well. Okay, let's check it and see how well it runs. Very nice. I think that will do just fine. I want to leave a little bit of a gap here. I don't want it all the way down. Just want a little bit of a gap to make sure the oil control washer doesn't rub on the capstan bearing there. And it is not doing so. So I got it in correctly, and I might as well clean this capstan while I'm here because it's easy. Okay, so far so good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstall this back in the transport, and we'll pick up with the front of the transport. Okay, folks, so I've been looking this transport over, and I think what we're going to have to do on this one is to kind of split this off into another video, at least, just to give me time to fix the extra issue I just found. I'll show you what the issue is first, if I can. Got to turn the whole thing over for this. Turns out the felt slip clutch inside the take-up reel isn't the only felt we have to deal with. Let's see, can I get you a good angle here? I'm probably going to need my flashlight. We'll zoom in. And I don't know if you can see this too well, but this felt that's underneath the erase head, that is a critical felt for back tension on this model. It's the back tension brake for this particular version of this particular transport. And as you can kind of see there, it is in bad shape, so that has to be replaced. Especially since we're going for really low wow and flutter with this deck. So you can't leave out anything major or minor like that if you want the best wow and flutter. So I'm going to need a little bit of extra time to deal with this. So I decided, as mentioned, we're going to split this off into a separate video. That way I've got more than enough time to hopefully get this sorted. And let's be honest, it's really not a bad thing for me to start taking more time when it comes to servicing these high-end transports like this. Like, it's great that I can take one of these high-end decks and turn it around in a week or so and get most of the issues dealt with, but the fact of the matter is, when it comes to servicing other people's decks, I think I need to slow down a bit. Like, the reason why I bought that... let's go focus on it. The reason why I bought that at their giant Nakamichi is because these are the types of decks I envisioned myself working on when it comes to actually working on decks for other people, because I don't really see much value in trying to do low-end decks. Like, I could see doing stuff like that RSM 245X, but anything too much lower end than that, I don't think would be worth people's time or money to service. And when it comes to dealing with stuff like this, you really do have to take your time. Otherwise, you end up missing stuff and making mistakes, and I don't want to do that with other people's decks. It's great for me because I can just reach up to the shelf and just grab off whatever deck I want to service today and make it good again. But I'm not going to have that luxury when it comes to customer decks. So yes. And the other thing is, I'm starting to get closer to my usual storm season for photography and video, and going outside and taking pictures of severe thunderstorms and video of severe thunderstorms, and I would like to have more time to do that this year than I did last year. Last year I was so hell-bent on getting this channel up and running that I just did tape deck after tape deck after tape deck, and I just gave myself no time to do anything else. Plus, there's the whole novel writing aspect of my life that I want to get back to as well, and that takes more time. But yes, that is the plan. I think I will be slowing down a little bit, maybe even going to a video once every 2 weeks instead of the way I do it now, just to give myself all the time I need. But just before we conclude this video, I thought you might like to see some of the new stuff I've had come in, so let's go over and take a look. Speaking of photography, I thought you guys might want to see the shot of a lifetime I got back in 2020. I don't really have anything to point with right now, but there was this comet back in 2020 that happened. You can see it right there in the shot. Basically, I wasn't going to go out and take pictures of that comet because I was convinced I wasn't going to see anything, but I decided to go out anyway with my Nikon D800 and my 20mm lens, and sure enough it was there, and not only was it there, but the aurora went nuts as well, so I will never ever get a shot like that again, I'm sure. I don't think anybody else will either, because who knows if that house is even going to be there the next time there's a comet, let alone aurora with the comet. So I'm very pleased with myself about that shot. But anyhow, you guys want to see the cool new stuff I got. And there it is right there. My camera gimbal's kind of acting crazy again, but whatever. What are you going to do? This is a Sony DTC-1000, known in other markets as the DTC-1000ES. This is the very first DAT deck released for the consumer market, I do believe, from Sony. And this actually showed up the same day as the ZX-9 did, so I kind of had two Dragon Killers in one day on that particular day. So I'm excited to get to this, but not everything is here for this yet. It needs a pinch roller, it needs all the new belts you can possibly give it, and whatnot. But above that is my TAC V1RX that just showed up from Japan. That was $100. That was $100. Wait, did I say that right? Probably not. That was $140 and $100. Like I said, I'm still sick, so that's the other reason I want to kind of slow down with this double D7. Anyhow, I haven't even plugged this one in yet, so I'm looking forward to dealing with it. It's the top-of-the-line TAC from just before the V1 or the V900X. So that's that deck. And this poor Sansui over here. I'm thinking that's the one that's going to be donated to the charity thrift store around Christmas this year. I decided to do a 3-head every year around Christmas, and last year it was the TAC V770. I think that one's going to be this year, because I don't use it anymore, and with the Akai GXR88 almost finished, I'm not going to need it anymore, because that deck is in no way as good a deck as the GXR88. Trust me. Anyhow, as mentioned, I am still sick, still not feeling well, and yep, there's the big JVC boombox. I really can't wait to get going on that one. But anyhow, this cold is still sticking with me, so I'm gonna shut this video off now and go rest, and then we'll get back to the DD-7 next week. So, see you in the next video. Take care.